Welcome back to the Daily Quack. Today's exciting tale is Hall of the Mermaid Queen, Uncle Scrooge number 68 from March 1967. How do I know it's exciting? Well, it says so right there on the cover. Our adventure begins, as so many do, in Scrooge's money bin. Huey, Dewey, and Louie run to tell Scrooge that his money is quite literally going down the drain, as his vast pile of cash disappears in a giant whirlpool. Upon investigating, they discover that the bin has been built atop a cavern, and the floor of the bin finally gave way under the crushing weight of all those coins. Scrooge and Donald investigate and follow the sloping cavern for quite some time until they hit water. Scrooge tastes the water, saying that if his money is near, the water will have a rich flavor. He realizes that this is salt water, and upon further exploration, they realize that Scrooge's fortune has disappeared into the deep waters of the ocean. With the help of science, Scrooge's money is located. It's at the bottom of the ocean, 1,200 fathoms down. A fathom is 6 feet, so that puts it 7,200 feet down, which converts to 1.3 miles or 2.19 kilometers. In other words, it's pretty far down. Surprisingly, this news puts Scrooge in a jubilant mood as he feels his money is perfectly safe, or as he puts it, nobody or nothing can steal it down there. Scrooge's team of geniuses is busy developing specialized salvage gear for their financial rescue operation. They've come up with a giant vacuum for sucking up the cash, an elastic diving mask that filters oxygen from the water, and last but not least, pills that allow the diver to adjust to the immense pressures underwater. At last, the expedition is ready to retrieve the fortune. As Scrooge and Donald prepare for their initial dives, a boat races up to them, and a passenger disembarks. It's none other than Daisy, who dreamt that the divers were in great danger. Donald responds that the only danger they'll be facing might come in the form of mermaids, which of course doesn't get the best reaction from Daisy. After taking their pressure pills, Scrooge and Donald begin their 1,200 fathom trek to the bottom of the ocean. The ducks arrive at the ocean floor, and immediately Scrooge starts reminiscing about his money and how he earned each dollar. But when he turns to look at the coins again, they have vanished. Suddenly Scrooge's money isn't as safe as they thought it was, and as they hurriedly begin the salvage operation, they discover who the thief is. And since you know the title of this issue, you've figured out that it's a merman, or in Donald's words, a submarine beatnik. Donald and Scrooge are definitely out of their element as they try to scare off the merman, who is then joined by more undersea friends. The merman proved very adept at throwing coins underwater and managed to drive the ducks away. Donald and Scrooge arrive back at the boat with tales of the undersea creatures. Daisy is of course more concerned about the possibility of mermaids than she is about the safety of the money. Huey, Dewey, and Louie offer to go down and help with their toy submarines and are rebuffed. While Donald collects weapons and other gear, Scrooge heads back down armed only with a top hat. Once Donald rejoins him, he realizes what the top hat is for. The mermen are using it as target practice. The salvage job proceeds smoothly, for a while. Meanwhile, Daisy is having nightmares about attending the undersea wedding of Donald and a mermaid. Thinking that the dream is a warning, Daisy suits up and heads down. Once Daisy arrives at the bottom, she can't find anyone and fears the worst. She assumes that Donald and Scrooge have been kidnapped by the mermen, and as part of her plan to rescue them, she puts on a wig and makeup in order to look like a glamorous super spy. And unfortunately for her, her plan works too well as she is immediately grabbed by a couple of mermen. Meanwhile, on the far side of the vacuum tank, Donald and Scrooge are waking from a nap. The ship radios down, asking if Daisy has arrived yet. Donald discovers her purse and signs of a struggle in the coins, and realize that she has been taken captive. They head into the caves to mount their rescue operation. Scrooge drags the vacuum hose along in the hopes of also rescuing some of his cash. After making their way past a swordfish portcullis and dispatching an angry octopus and a ravenous shark, their heroes wind up in the undersea throne room of the Mermaid Queen. Scrooge immediately goes on the offensive, hoovering up the coins that the mermaids have turned into clothing until his hose gets disabled. Topside, the crew panics once they realize they've lost contact with the expedition. The nephews jump into action, armed with their torpedo-shooting toy subs. And down below, the ducks are reunited only to find out that Daisy is to be married off to the Prime Minister. When Donald objects, he catches the Queen's eye, but once he lets her know he isn't interested, the Queen orders the ducks to be thrown into a bottomless pit. As they're getting dragged away, it's Huey, Dewey, and Louie to the rescue, until they run out of torpedoes for their subs. It looks like it's the end for the ducks when one of the nephews, I have no idea which one, saves the day by showing the Queen Daisy's makeup kit and the wonders of some lipstick and a comb. Always the businessman, Scrooge pounces on the opportunity to tell the Queen about his cosmetics businesses and comes out of it all even richer than before. And the story ends with the Queen wistfully thinking that duck boy was kinda cute. Hall of the Mermaid Queen is up there on my list of Uncle Scrooge favorites. I'm always a fan of undersea exploration, and this one didn't disappoint. It's a fun adventure. This is the third last Scrooge book that Barks did in its entirety, and some of the artistic issues that have crept into the books over the years are on full display here. His characters look great, but a lot of the backgrounds are just empty colors. Long gone are the incredibly detailed backgrounds and little visual gags, and it's totally understandable. Barks was tired of having his work butchered by the editors as they tried to make space for more ads, so he just didn't want to put in the effort on panels that could possibly end up in the garbage. The only thing I've always found a bit odd was Daisy's hairstyle, but it was the 60s, so I guess Barks was just trying to update her. My favorite line from the story is when Scrooge is describing the merman. Half flounder, half bounder. Merriam-Webster Dictionary describes a bounder as a man of objectionable social behavior. That always made me laugh. The issue is rounded out with a one-page Mickey Mouse story and a Gyro Gearless story, and the less said of these, the better. There's some classic comic book ads in this issue, like the Polaris nuclear sub. 7 feet long? Only $7? What did this actually look like? For some reason, I'm picturing a big cardboard box. Hours and hours of adventure and a money-back guarantee. I really wish I would have ordered one of these. Well, that wraps it up for Uncle Scrooge number 68, Hall of the Mermaid Queen. Certainly one of my favorite Carl Barks duck adventures.